Hi, today I'm going to cover some blood pressure basics to help you understand a little bit more about what's going on, the factors that can actually alter it, and get you into the frame of mind that, you know what, there's something that you can do about it so that you can either avoid or get off medication in the long run when you work with someone that knows what they're doing. So blood pressure. So first of all, what is blood pressure? Blood pressure is quite simply the pressure on your artery walls by the blood, on the artery walls by your blood. And there's two numbers in your blood pressure. There's the higher number, which is your systolic blood pressure, which is when your heart is contracting and actually pumping the blood. And then there's the lower part called your diastolic blood pressure, when your heart is relaxed. Now, overall, there are three main components that go up to adding up to what your blood pressure is. Okay, one is your heart rate, HR, which you're probably familiar with because you've taken your pulse. So it's the number of beats per minute. And the faster your heart is racing and beating, the more likely the higher your blood pressure will be. So that's why there are drugs, if you've got a racing heart, there are drugs that actually help lower your blood pressure. But in order to affect that part of your system, those drugs also affect other areas of your body that perhaps you don't want to slow down. And again, drugs also cause other side effects quite a lot of the time by actually depleting minerals and vitamins in your body, which are vital for life. And this is one of the reasons why once you're on drugs, in the medical world, it's hard to get off of them because doctors aren't actually addressing the underlying mechanisms and the underlying problems that the drugs themselves then cause, which lead to more drugs. So one is your heart rate. Okay, two is what's called your stroke volume, which is how much blood the heart is actually pushing out per beat. And again, the more it's pushing out, the higher your blood pressure. So there are a number of different things that factor into this. I mean, stress factors into both of these, and whether you're having to run as well, or do something really fast or stressful. So your stroke volume, again, there are drugs like diuretics that help decrease the amount of blood that you actually have. But again, why have you got that much blood? What's really going on? What's actually caused that? So the medical answer is just get rid of the blood, but the real answer is figuring out, well, what's actually going on? Why is the heart having to do this? Why is the heart trying to pump more blood per minute? Is it because there's something lacking in the blood so that the heart has to pump harder to get whatever it hasn't got where it needs to go quicker? These are questions that you should be asking. And then three is you have what's called your peripheral vascular resistance. So this is actually to do with the arteries and veins themselves and how much resistance they're actually putting into the heart pumping. And while some drugs actually do affect this, the real answer is actually comes in actually decreasing the resistance in the arteries. Now, most people's arteries, or healthy arteries, are smooth on the inside and they're lined with something that actually helps propel red blood cells along. However, as this all becomes damaged, it becomes rougher. Instead of propelling it along like a bullet train, like a magnetic, like a bullet train where there's a magnetic field, so there's no resistance, and so the train can go really fast. That's basically what your blood vessels should be like. They should be smooth. But when they get roughened and damaged, it starts slowing everything down. And there's a number of lifestyle factors that affect both your heart rate, your stroke volume, and the PVR as well. Some of these things, some of the natural ways I cover in some of my webinars, and also in our Facebook group, which is called the Health Lab. I'll put some links below in the description, so you can click on some links and find out more. And there's also something else that's very important to know, which is, so that's your systolic and that's your diastolic, and that's the difference between the two, and that's called your pulse pressure. And that also means something. I should be telling your doctor something. If this is, well, it's actually not even that. It's actually the ratio that's more important. So as long as the ratio is where it should be, okay, it's actually more important than the number itself. But that I'm going to cover in a separate video. So look out for the pulse pressure video. And all I want you to do is stay healthy, be well, check out the links below, and do more to help yourself. Be well.